Welcome to Fireside Knicks. My name is Alex, your host. Now, the question I keep asking myself, and I'm sure all you guys are wondering the same thing, is why do the New York Knicks freaking suck? Why do the Knicks suck? And I keep coming around to this question and wondering, what is the issue here? What is the systemic issue that is plaguing the Knicks this season? We all know Julius Randle's regressed to the mean. We know his shooting has kind of taken a pretty significant dip, especially in the three-point category. He's down about 9%, shot 40% last year. He's at 31% this year. Where do the Knicks go from here? Is the deadline going to be the source of savior? Can they make a move that even helps them get over the hump and really get them into a playoff situation? Currently, they're in the 12th seed. They're 7 games below 500. They're falling apart at the seams. And I blame Tom Thibodeau for this, right? I blame Tom Thibodeau, maybe not for all of it, but for a degree of it. And mainly because he refuses to play to the youth of this team, and he refuses to play to the strengths of each individual player at times. Now, analytics, I'm sure, is a big part of the Knicks system now. I guess the signing of Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, I don't really get it. In hindsight, it's easy to say. But, looking back, I feel like they should have had a better grasp on where this team was going. And last year, their identity was defense. That is why they made the postseason. That is why they even pushed for a playoff spot. That is why they were the fourth seed. Defense, 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 and Julius Randle being their confident, bully ball kind of power forward. And at this point in time, the entire offensive strategy seems to have changed. If you watch them play, the offense does not run through Julius Randle. It does not run through RJ Barrett. It is back and forth all over the place, hot hands, letting Evan Fournier heave up shots off his back foot. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's no continuity at most times. The only player that actually seems to have an idea of where to be and what to do at all times is Quentin Grimes. The kid is a rookie, right? And that's not to say RJ Barrett isn't having a great season, because he's been absolutely phenomenal to start 2022. He's averaging 20 plus points a game. He's tremendous. But Tom Thibodeau is overplaying him, and we saw that because against the Nuggets, 25 seconds left, team is down 15 points. He still has RJ Barrett in, twists his ankle, and now he's hurt. Who knows how long he's going to be out for? And that puts the Knicks in an even worse spot. They need to be winning games right now. They're losing games at a ridiculous rate. They need to be winning games, and overplaying your star players or your best players for no reason and putting them in a spot to get injured is a terrible, coaching. It's terrible coaching from Thibodeau at the end of the day. And, I was looking at RJ Barrett's minutes. He played 50 minutes, then he played 45 minutes, and then 35 minutes. Like giving him a little bit of a break. But why would you have him in the fourth quarter when the game is lost, when the blowout's already in full effect? This makes no sense to me, guys. I would love to hear your opinion on it. I'm sure you guys agree. The team just hasn't played to their youth, right? Obi Toppin, the transition game. Without Derrick Rose, it's been tough. I love the Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin combination, but Toppin's rather quickly shooting has been kind of off lately, and Toppin does not have a 3-point shot at this point in his career. He's trying to get there, but he's shooting 20%. It's definitely not where it needs to be. But that speed and pace and energy is something that uplifts the Knicks. Now, Quentin Grimes, I believe, is a starter already. He should be starting over Evan Fournier. And Fournier ultimately just doesn't play defense. He has his games where he has 30, 40 points. He has his breakout performances. He hits some shots, and yay, that's great. But when you're not playing defense, it hurts everybody, right? If you hit a 3-point shot, great job, Evan. But then he gives up a foul and one on the next play, or he misses an assignment and this guy open him in the corner and it hits a dagger for a 3. That is a demoralizing thing. Basketball is a momentum-based sport, right? If you string together a couple points, you can go 10, 15 points at a rip, and suddenly you're up by a nice margin. Problem is, the Knicks never have the opportunity to go on rips like that. They rarely do. In fact, it's usually the opposite, because they miss their shots, and then the defense is so poor they can't uphold it. Now, looking at the deadline, we've seen the rumors. De'Aaron Fox, we've seen the Harrison Barnes, and all these different names, and nothing has come to fruition. Cam Reddish is the only player the Knicks acquired, and now Mark Berman of New York Post is reporting that, in fact, Thibodeau didn't really even want Cam Reddish. I don't know if that's true, but that's what was reported. Now, looking at Reddish in specific, he's played 15 minutes and 14 minutes in the last 2 games, back-to-back, right? 15, 40 minutes. The only reason he's been playing is because Quentin Grimes has been out with a knee injury. So that is really the only reason that Reddish has gotten any action. He's scored 8 combined points. Now, he needs more time to gain chemistry with his teammates. He needs more time to get a grasp on the offensive strategy and scheme. He's new to this. He's new to this team. He was averaging 13 plus points with Atlanta, and now he's averaging nothing. He's basically non-existent. He's a non-factor. Per the CBA, the Knicks can't even trade him unless it's just for him, right? They can't package him in this big luxurious deal because they just acquired him. So they can only trade him in a one-person swap. Only he can be a part of the trade. But there may be a way around it if they wanted to go with a multi-year deal, or rather a multi-team deal. Let's say there's 3 teams involved. Cam Reddish is the only piece that's sent to another team, and the Knicks send a bunch of other pieces to another. And, it's really, really tough. They just brought in Gerson, from the Timberwolves, their former president. And in fact, it was kind of funny. He was the one that replaced Tom Thibodeau, who featured in that head coach and president role with the Timberwolves. And now he's here with the Knicks trying to help figure out, what to do right now. Maybe just be the difference maker, the guy who says maybe they're split in the front office on a decision. He's like, this is what you guys should do. Maybe he's just an extra person to offer their opinion and push things over the hump because everyone's split. Now, how much can we blame Tom Thibodeau? Because this is the point of the video. How much can we blame Tom Thibodeau for the season's regression? I don't know exactly how much analytics in that, kind of that category that's played a part in Tom Thibodeau's decision making, but I don't like how stringent he is with his combinations of players. Either you're in or you're out, right? If you get into the doghouse of Tom Thibodeau, you're not getting on the floor. You're not seeing time. If you're in his favor, you're going to play all the time. Quentin Grimes got in his favor, and he got a ton of action because of it, and justifiably so. But Evan Fournier, man, they're just playing him at this point because they're just playing him because they just paid him a huge contract. I feel like Tom Thibodeau is holding the team back to a degree because he's not giving the youth the reps they need to get more consistency and to produce more. I feel like some of the youth pieces on this team are better than some of the starters. You know what I mean? Like Mitchell Robinson has been a stud lately. Without Barrett and Mitchell Robinson to start the new year, the Knicks have been, while they've been losing a ridiculous amount, would be an absolute shit show without those two guys. Randall's been okay at times. He's got 28 points the other night. But again, he's not playing the same ball he was last year. Last year, he was physical. He was aggressive. He drove to the hoop. He shot threes. He was confident. They've taken that confidence away from him. And Randall did say recently that he still has faith and confidence in Tom Thibodeau to lead this team. If he wants them to play 45 minutes, he'll play 45. If it's 25, it's 25. But I think Randall's just playing the game now. I don't really think he cares that much. The hostility, the fans, everybody that's gone, every negative attention, the trade rumors, he's tired of it. You can tell. And I think Thibodeau needs to let him play his ball. He needs momentum. Randall lived and died off his momentum last year. And like I said, basketball is a momentum-based game. If you have momentum, if you have confidence, you're unstoppable. That's what RJ Barrett has been living off of to start the new year. He goes through wild cold streaks and wild hot streaks because he's confident. Julius Randle is a similar player. He is just an abysmal one night, and the next night he's great. And then you need to let him string together. Feed him the ball. If you're gonna pay a guy 4 years, $117 million, you can't make him a third option. You got to keep going back to him. And I think he's just losing grasp of what his role is. I don't think he exactly knows what his role is anymore. The identity of the team is shot. The defense is abysmal. They don't care. They're not hustling. They don't crash the boards. You ever watch a Knicks game? Watch them crash the boards. They don't. Mitchell Robinson is the only guy that crashes the boards, and that's why he had 21 rebounds the other night, and now he was out against the Nuggets with the injury. They do not crash the boards. If you crash the boards, you get that extra basket, you string together 5 points, suddenly it's 7 points and 9 points. It's a momentum-based thing. If you're not putting in the effort, the other team will attack you and they will beat you. And the Knicks have sustained that lately. I just don't think Tom Thibodeau is doing a great job of putting the right combinations together. Alec Burks is not a point guard. Kemba Walker is washed. Where is Deuce McBride? Where's Miles McBride? That guy should be starting. He should not be coming off the bench, let alone in the G League, putting up 30 points and 10 assists. He should be freaking starting for the Knicks right now. Give him reps. Miles McBride is a legitimate point guard. Alec Burks does not know how to facilitate. He is a shooting guard. He is a veteran scoring maestro. That is what he does. He does not pass. That is not what he's good at. Looking at Kemba Walker has never been a facilitator. He's always been a score first point guard. And he is just all over the place. He loses the ball all the time. He's turning the ball over. Julius Randle's trying to set him up for plays, and it just does not work. Let Deuce McBride get some minutes. Let him play defense. Let him get some momentum. Let him adapt. I don't understand what the problem is, right? Letting him get some action while the team is absolute dog shit anyway, can't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Like what's the worst thing that happens? They lose anyway, except they played better defense and maybe Miles McBride got some experience and took a step forward and now knows how to guard someone better and knows how to add another element to his game. While Kemba Walker's over here doing absolutely nothing, it's time for the Knicks to shift their momentum, to shift their strategy and their mentality. Play the young guys, let them get some time, and let's see what they've got. Because what is there to lose at this point? If they don't make any moves at the deadline, there's nothing to lose. I think Thibodeau, that's been his biggest issue. He hasn't given guys enough time that should deserve it. Like he's at this point, like why? It keeps coming back to me. Why is this team terrible? Is because they're rolling with players that aren't working. They need to try different things. They need to give some more responsibility to their young guys. And at this point, I think McBride is probably the best option on the team, unfortunately, because Kemba Walker is a shell of himself and they don't know how to use him. And it's just a disaster, guys. But I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Like, what do you think Tom Thibodeau's doing wrong? I'm not saying we should fire him, but I think that someone needs to change, and it needs to change soon if they want to be a playoff team. There are 2.5 games out of the 10th seed, where the Hawks currently rely, I believe. So this is a tough situation, but hopefully they can turn it around. Hopefully they'll make a move at the deadline and things change. But guys, make sure to like and subscribe the podcast episode below on YouTube. As always, much love, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Knicks episode.